As a mom, I need fast, easy, but delicious ways to feed my family breakfast on crazy school mornings, especially come winter when it's cold and you don't feel like getting out of bed to start cooking everybody a big old breakfast. These freezer breakfast sandwiches are my go-to throughout the school year. Let me show you how you guys can make them at home using your Blackstone. As the school year continues, I can admit I'm not a morning person. I don't like rolling out of bed and starting to cook everybody breakfast. So these freezer breakfast sandwiches are perfect for me, and you can switch out how you make them each week using different bread, different fillers, whether it be sausage or ham, pork roll, scrapple. You zhuzh up your eggs with some veggies if you like. But I'm going to show you the basics on how I make a freezer breakfast sandwich. This week I'm doing croissants, some sliced cheese from the deli, and I'm using a pre-cut ham. For under $10, this ham will get me my 12 breakfast sandwiches, and the rest of the ham will roll over this week for future meals, whether it be lunch or dinner, or maybe some omelets over the weekend. For my dozen of croissant sandwiches I'm making, I have 1 dozen eggs. We'll be cooking in some bacon up, which I love. It adds a lot of flavor. A little bit of milk and our Blackstone Essential Blend, one of my favorite seasonings. The second it hits the griddle, you can smell the garlic in this. And since we're using ham, I like to pair this with a mustard. Sometimes I go spicy, sometimes I go regular mustard. Today I'm going with this truffle mustard, one of my family's favorites. I put this out every time I cut up some cheese and pepperoni. Now let's get these croissants sliced in half so that they're ready to hit the griddle when it's time. Next up, our 12 eggs go into a large mixing bowl. I'm going to add in some milk. You could use milk or half and half, or even water if you'd like. About a teaspoon per egg, or just kind of eyeball it like me and put in as much as you want. We'll season our eggs up with the Essential Blend. Whisk those eggs together, incorporating a lot of air. This is going to help you get a really fluffy, nice, beautiful egg. Slide that aside for a second while we count out some slices of ham that I'll need. Again, the rest of this ham that I don't use will roll over into another meal this week. Now let's get this Blackstone preheating to low. A few accessories I need. Always my Blackstone spatula mat. This saves me from making a mess. I have 1 spatula, and for my eggs I love using the Blackstone scraper. You'll see how I do my eggs if you haven't seen before. Our griddle's nice and hot and ready to go, so let's drop down some of our bacon up. Down goes our ham. I'm only going to let this cook for about 2 minutes per side, giving it some nice color, a little caramelization, and then pull this off and set it aside. Into all of that leftover bacon up and juices from the ham left behind, let's drop down our croissants and let these toast up just slightly. Let's drop down a little extra bacon up. Give these eggs one last whisk to make sure they come out nice and fluffy. And we'll slowly drop down these eggs onto the Blackstone. Now I'm turning off these Blackstone burners right before the eggs hit the griddle. I want these eggs to cook nice and slow in the residual heat, which will really help create those beautiful, sexy eggs I'm always talking about. We'll slowly use our scraper just to move these around a bit, making sure that none run off into our rear drain. A nice level Blackstone is key for this. I like my scrambled eggs to be nice and fluffy, big pieces for these sandwiches, so I really don't want to break these eggs up. I know some people like their eggs chopped or really small scrambled, but I like big fluffy pieces, so just gently use that scraper, adding a little more egg until you use up all of your egg mixture. You can instantly smell that garlic and all of the seasoning in the Essential Blend. The smell is just heavenly. After a few minutes, these eggs are done. If you wanted to add any vegetables or any cheese or anything that your heart desires into your eggs, now would be the time. For me, I'm going to pull these off to get ready to assemble our freezer sandwiches. I've got everything lined up and ready to go. I've got my saran wrap or plastic wrap. This is what we'll freeze these sandwiches in. So down goes a piece of our plastic wrap, then our croissants, which we will add a little bit of our truffle mustard to. You can get creative and add any kind of sauce you like to your egg sandwiches. Then I do slices of our cheese. This, once it melts, when reheating these sandwiches, will be the glue to hold everything together. So I like to have the cheese on the outside of our sandwich. Layer a piece of ham or any meat that you're using. Then some of your nice fluffy eggs. Sandwich this back together and wrap it nice and tight in some plastic wrap, and continue the process until you have all of your sandwiches assembled. Once these are done, they can go into the freezer for up to 2 months. The kids just need to take them out in the morning, unwrap them from their plastic wrap, wrap them in a paper towel, and stick them in the microwave for about 1 minute to a minute and a half. The time will vary, especially if you switch out your ham for something like sausage. Now I hope you guys enjoy this at home, making some breakfast sandwiches for your family. It's the perfect way to enjoy your Blackstone on crazy days where you don't have the time to get out there and enjoy it. You can't beat a homemade breakfast sandwich, especially when it's more cost effective to take the time and make your own. Now go make some. I can't wait to see. Be sure to post a picture and tag Blackstone products. Until next time, I'm Blackstone Betty, and I will see you guys in the next video.